We used to host parties, we used to go out to eat. There's the trampoline park. If you're a big partier, you're not gonna enjoy it, I'll be honest. But there's actually loads of restaurants if you actually look. It was a very good accom. Literally has no complaints. Do not live with your friends. Realistically, she literally just highlighted all my references with question marks.
It's not for you, baby. To be mumu guy. I send you text and you no reply. Oh my god, this stuff no be by force you, make me divert you.
Hey guys, what's good? Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm giving you a little guide to the University of Essex. I was there for 3 years. I just graduated 2 months ago, and I just thought that I'd give you just a little rundown on going to Essex. These are the type of videos I was looking for when I was about to start, and I didn't find any, so gotcha. Let's get started. The grading system is in percentages, and the percentages is in a grade. 40 is a pass, that's grade 3, so that's like the lowest grade you can get. That is from 40 to 49%. Then a 2-2 is from 50% to 59%. A 2-1 is from 60% to 69%, I believe. And a first class is from 70% to 100. For me, Essex was really lenient in terms of grades, assignments, and all of that. So I studied law. In my first year, I didn't really do very well. I wasn't really understanding how to write law assignment. I wasn't understanding referencing and the sources I was meant to be using. So they gave me 3 choices. I could either resit the assignments that I failed. I could just trail the course, which is basically adding it on to the next year that you do. So you just do that whole module again. Or I could have repeated the year, which I absolutely was not trying to do under any circumstance. I'm sorry. I feel like I'm not good with education, so any choice I have to stay, I am not going to. Now, I chose to just reset the exam. When it comes to trailing courses or trailing credit, which is basically just keeping it for longer, if that makes sense, I would advise you guys not to do it. Don't do it, because by 3rd year you can only trail up to 30 credit. Let's say if you fail one course that's 30 credits and you just can't pass another one, they're not going to let you back onto the course. I just advise that if you do have the choice, you resit the exam, even if it's not compulsory. Essex, they let you do 2 resets. For my law students, I would suggest that when you're doing your work, you definitely need to check whether the sources are legal. That's one mistake I made when I was in 1st year. Yeah, I just thought, if the information is correct, why can't I put it down? But they're really strict about that. So don't use any law teacher website. Do not reference those, because they will fail your whole paper. One time, she literally just highlighted all my references with question mark. That's literally the only feedback I got, and then I got like 20% on the work. Literally just because of my sources. So do not make that mistake. And in 3rd year as well, my dissertation, it was a topic that there wasn't really solid evidence other than the cases. So I also got marked down a little bit because of that. They give you legal websites to use. So one is called a Westlaw and one is called LexisNexis. I would advise that's what you use for your referencing. Don't use them random Google websites. Just make sure that it's either like legislation.com, LexisNexis, Westlaw, or you're just writing the case. And for study tips for law students, of course, because I can only advise on law, my university experience would definitely be different to yours, because I came into uni when COVID was leaving a bit, but it was still pretty much there. So in 1st year, I didn't have any in-person lectures. It was only my tutorials at 1 person. 2nd year, I had in-person lectures, and 3rd year, I had in-person lectures. But I still didn't have any in-person exams. So my exams were all 24 hours. My coursework, all of them had a month deadline. So it was like pretty easy for me. I didn't do as well as I should have done, considering how easy it was. My advice for doing exams is to specifically learn cases. I feel like if you know what happens in a case, you can link it to anything. I don't know. I don't really know how in-person exams are like for law, so I can't really give any advice. But guys, do your MCQs. Like, they told me this in 1st year, and I was thinking it's only 20%, like it's not that serious. And 1st year and 2nd year didn't prioritize my MCQs. It was fine, guys. 3rd year, I can't lie, it messed me up because it dropped my grades because I didn't do them. They told my mom or my dad. I didn't realize that I didn't do them until I got my grades back, and I was like, why is there 10 marks missing from a few of my grades? I got 0% for the 20%, so it deducted it, and it was just really annoying. So do your MCQs, don't be like me. So Essex is quite a small uni. It's not like universities in the Midlands where there's a neighbouring uni. We have ARU, which is Anglia-Ruskin in Chelmsford. We've never had anything with them. We don't see them or anything. It's basically just Essex when you're in Essex. And my tip for social life would literally be, you need to make your own fun. You can't sit there and rely on parties or rely on other people to host events, because Essex is not good with that. I'll be so honest. In first year, they were doing really well. Second year, downhill a little bit. Third year was totally bad. I feel sorry for the first years that came this year. It was pretty dry. But one of the ways that me and my friends always had fun was literally just doing spontaneous stuff. We used to host parties. We used to go out to eat. There's actually stuff to do in culture stuff. There's the Ultimate Ninja. There's the trampoline park. But I think they've moved it to like the other side of culture stuff. But it's not that far to get to. Maybe 15-20 minutes by cab. There's the bowling alley. There's a laser tag. There's swimming. There's Top Golf, but it's not in Colchester. If you know, a few of you put some money together, you know, get an Uber, I don't know, you can go up there. It's in Ipswich, I think. I'm not really sure, I haven't been. There's go-karting up in Ipswich as well. So it's not too dry. Like if you're like a basic chilled person like me, you just enjoy Colchester. It's just more of a quiet city, you know. If you're a big partier, you're not gonna enjoy it, I'll be honest. There's also the zoo, and in the summer they open a fun fair like near Tollgate. Me and my friends have gone like twice. It was alright. I don't really know what to particularly say about this. I feel like it's really easy to balance academics and social life. For me, I feel like I had a very active social life. I had friends around me a lot. I don't know, it wasn't really hard. I don't know what type of advice people are looking for to balance it. It was just like the most amount of time I had to spend on campus was max 4 hours, and that was rare. So most of the times I only needed to be on campus 1 or 2 hours a day, and not even every day. So I just had a lot of time to just chill and hang out with my friends. I'll be honest, I was a last minute person when it came to exams and coursework. I'm gonna be really honest with you guys, I didn't study. I studied like vaguely, but I never actually committed it to memory. You know when you sit down, you do all the study method, but it doesn't necessarily stick? Yeah, that was me. Because for me, it was a lot easier to study around the question that I got given rather than just study just bare stuff that I don't even know what's coming up. But I guess for you guys this year, you can't do that because it's in person. So I don't know, I would say just make your friends study with you, I guess. I don't know, there's just so much time to just do both. Switch it up, like maybe this day just chill with your friends, don't worry about working. The next day maybe dedicate it to like one module and, you know, alternate. You're mainly going to use a website called Phaser. Literally, it drops your assignments, but then it also gives you an email. So you shouldn't really be able to miss any assignments. I don't know how people do. Just keep your email logged in. I only lived on campus for my first year. I lived at the Cops. It was a very good accom. Literally had no complaints other than the rooms were really small, but it was manageable. It had a lot of storage. I have a room tour on my channel. You can go watch that. I'll put the link up here. I think at the time it was about 171 a week. I really can't remember. They've definitely dropped the prices now. I would say in terms of aesthetic wise, I would say the best at the moment would be Pastures. It's a new accommodation that got built last year. I would say number 2 would be Cops, and number 3 would be Meadows. I still up to this day haven't been in a Meadows accommodation, but that's what I initially picked for my first choice when I was starting first year, and I just heard that the rooms are bigger. Off campus accommodation, the top 3 would be, in terms of aesthetics wise as well, Enzo, number 1. Number 2 would be probably Host, and number 3 would be Maltings. This is the thing, right? Host is nicer than Maltings, but Maltings is closer. Host is all the way in town and 30-minute walk. I don't think anyone wants to be doing that, especially in your first year. Quite a few of my friends lived in Host for first year. I feel like you sometimes miss out on things. Maltings was a very nice accommodation. I also have a room tour if you want to go watch that. I'll put the link up here. That's where I lived in my second year, and it was a very nice accom. Yeah, I don't really have any complaints about it. My room was a silver room. It wasn't too small, but I did have a smaller room than my friends that I lived with. I don't know what that was about, but the spacing was good, the storage was good. And now Enso, I have never lived in Enso, but my friend just recently moved in, so I went to go and look around, and it's a very pretty accommodation. I might have moved there actually instead of my apartment. Got built last year as well, the same time as Pastures. Room size is roughly the same as Malting Silver ensuite. Price wise, I know on campus the cheapest are South Court, Houses and Towers. I'm not gonna say anything bad about Towers because you might end up living there, but it's not usually the number 1 choice in terms of aesthetics. I've only been in the common room. It's not too bad. I already did a first year advice video. Once again, put the link up here. I'm just gonna give you guys just a few tips that I may or may not have fallen victim to. The first thing I'm gonna advise you guys to do is to join group chats before you move in. And I know this video is gonna drop late, way after results day, and probably when you guys move in already. But yeah, if you're black, join the ACS group chat. Find a way to kind of sliver your way into a conversation. I'm so glad I did it. Usually I don't talk in group chats, especially when I don't know anybody. But this time I was thinking, how am I gonna make friends? Like, where am I gonna even find them? I just found a way to make point in the conversation, and then we ended up forming like a little group. So when we moved into uni, we all knew each other, and I'm still friends with a lot of them. Also, I would say join society. Like I said, Essex doesn't really have a crazy social life for students, and it's definitely going downhill since I started. If you join a society, it definitely gives you something else to do rather than just waiting for parties to happen. It also gives you another way to make friends. I joined cheerleading in second year. I was supposed to join in first year, but I twisted my ankle when tryouts were around. I'm glad that I joined cheer because it's something that I like to do because I did it when I was younger. So just to not make you just stick with people all the time, join netball, basketball, hockey, table tennis, just anything that you once wanted to do. Use university to go for it, I'm telling you. In line with that, I'd also say if there's a business that you wanted to try, or if there's something that you're good at, start that business. There's no such thing as too much money, you know what I mean? I started doing hair in year 10 when I was in boarding school because we were in like a predominantly white area. I just thought, you know what, let me help my friends out. And then when I came to university, I wasn't initially gonna do hair, and then I did one of my friends' hair, and then they told people, and then I started just doing hair, and it was probably one of the best decisions because through that, number one, I was able to meet a lot more people. Number two, I was able to have like a little side income. Having a business, you know, you don't know where that can take you after uni. Essex still has a lot of drama, okay? Even though we're a small uni and there's not that many unis surrounding us, people are still messy. I would say this is a mistake I probably still make, can't lie. Don't just like tell people stuff because you think they're your friends, because it can bite you in the bum. Even if it's about yourself, others. It's not even necessarily deep information. Just be careful because, you know, a lot of people are spies for others. Come make friends with you to find out something, and sometimes it works. Along the lines of friends, do not live with your friends in second year. Realistically, don't do it. I lived with my friends in second year, like we all booked the same flat in the Maltings, and it was fine for the most part, but I've seen it go downhill. My friends that I moved in with, I was very tight with them, and I'm not even saying that just because I was tight with them it couldn't have gone wrong. It's better to just not take the risk than to be miserable your whole of second year and live with the people that's making you miserable. If anything, just get the same accommodation. I have seen the problems that come from living in a house together or living in an apartment together when it comes to the bills. Don't live with your friends, or if you are, pick a student accommodation and just pick the same flat. Please listen to me, okay? To start off with, third year is not as scary as they make it seem. The workload is the same as first year, it's the same as second year. The only difference is that the deadlines are different. So for example, first year and second year, you would have your first term, which is from October to December. Your second term will be from January to March. And third term would be from April to about May, June, depending on how many exams you have. Usually, I would get given 2 pieces of coursework each break, 2 in the Christmas break, 2 in the Easter break, and then I would have about 4 exams in the summer term. In third year, it's not like that. How many do you do? You do 4 modules each term. They give you all the 4 modules in each break. Christmas break, I had 4 assignments, 2,000 words each. And I'm lucky that it was 2,000 words. And it's surprising because I thought law would have lengthy assignments. Oh my gosh, guys. Before any of these deadlines dropped, I had already booked 2 holidays. I got it done. Other than the deadlines, that's different. You just have mental pressure to do well because it's the last opportunity you get, I guess, to pull all your grade together. Do your MCQs. Don't let them take 10 marks off like they did for me, guys, okay? Don't let them bring down your mark and your overall just because you couldn't be bothered or you kept forgetting to just spend 10 minutes to do, what, 6 questions every 2 weeks. It's either I have ADHD or I have just really bad memories. I'd literally set a reminder and I'd be like, okay. After I do this, I'll go and do it. A week later, I'll be like, oh my God, I'm supposed to do my MCQ. That's how bad it was. Guys, speak to your tutor. You never know if you're gonna need a reference. I didn't know I needed a reference. Just this long thing at the end of uni. I didn't have that many conversations, but at least 3 lengthy conversations. That's enough for them to kind of roughly know the type of person you're like, or your drive towards what you want in the future or what you want from uni. That's what kind of helped me. Next, guys, triple check. Even 10 times. Check your assignments again before you submit it. Guys, I submitted the wrong assignment in my third year. Can you imagine? I submitted submitted the wrong cover sheet onto the wrong piece of work, and I didn't know until I got the feedback a month later. So you can imagine what kind of tragedy that put me in. And I promise you, I definitely checked. So I don't know, don't be in a rush like I was. I was just so eager to finish third year. The last advice I'm gonna leave you with, for law we were lucky enough to not have a long dissertation. It was only 4K words. We had a draft due. Our supervisor would check over it and give you feedback. I knew we had a deadline, but I thought that in the session with your supervisor they would still go through your work with you. No, they read it beforehand and just tell you the advice in the meeting. So I literally sent my draft on the way to the meeting, and then she was like, girl, when was I supposed to read this? So I got really brief feedback. It would have been better if I had submitted it by the deadline. Just make sure you're checking all your deadlines. A lot of the deadlines, they don't have notifications through Phaser like how your assignments or your exams do. So I could have done way better if I had proper feedback from my draft, because my draft was literally half of my work already. So I didn't have many, not no celeb. How much is average uni accommodation rent in Essex? I would say 8K is the average. How do you balance running a business and uni at the same time? Literally just I fit it in when I can. Definitely be strict with your policies. I only learned that recently. How hard was your law degree, and how did you stay on top of things with your work? My law degree, it wasn't as hard as it really should have been because everything was online. Like I said, I didn't study. I was studying a lot on the question. For in-person exams, to study everything. I don't know what advice, because I'm not good at studying. I bought A3 folders, A3 paper, loads of colouring pens. I know it sounds really childish, but I learned through visual learning. So I made loads of mind maps of the terminology, cases that were linked to each. Was it hard making friends in first year? It would have been hard for me if I didn't join group chats. You don't really see that many people unless they're going to their lectures, and that's not really time to be like, oh hey, do you want to be friends? Or oh hey, what's your name? Because people are rushing. I feel like my course was a bit hard to make friends with because it was such a big course. The hall that we had our lectures in was huge. I did make at least one friend from each of my tutorials. I had a little business, so I met people through there as well. Favorite memory with my friends, it literally just the spontaneous stuff that we used to do. I think summer terms are the best terms. Obviously it's sunny, the vibes are good. We would literally just pick something to do every day, or at least every other day. Everybody's always complaining about Colchester, but there's actually loads of restaurants if you actually look. There's one place called Chinatown in Colchester town. I'm putting you on. But they do buffets every Sunday for £20.50 per person, and you can order as much food as you want. You have to pay for the drinks separately, but the food is really good. And also me and my friends used to throw flat parties, so those had very interesting stories. Guys, if you do drink, before you go out you should host a pre-drink, or you should at least go to some pre-drink. That's where the fun is at. The warm-up to the motive is the main bit. 3 things to not do in university. Let me think of separate things other than what I have told you. It's really hit or miss. Don't talk too much. Everything just really comes under what you say to people, I feel like. Like, if you're a kind person by nature, that's fine. Be aware that people are always going to take the piss. Just try to put yourself first rather than putting other people's feelings first, because when it comes to you, other people don't give a heck, especially in uni. If you are going to set your friends up, do not get in the middle of it. Stay out of it. That's one thing I definitely wish I did. It just caused unnecessary drama in my own life by trying to be a good friend and sorting out issues when my friends linked up. Don't do it. How do you handle the stress that comes with school? I don't really get stressed until it's very close to the time. It's only like the night before or a few hours before the deadline that I actually get stressed. Sometimes I cry. Rarely. I don't think there was one exam that I did in advance. Even the afternoon before, make sure everything is ready. I was putting my cover work on my work literally 5 minutes before the due time. So that's what really stressed me out. Just make sure that it's at least an hour up before. Those are all the questions I got. Thank you for listening. I really hope this video did help you. Thank you for watching this video to the end. Please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. And who knows, I might see you around the Colchester since I still live here. Hope you do have the uni experience that you want, and hopefully Essex does it for you. It definitely has the potential to do it. Anyways, I'm talking to you. Bye.